Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The road to Delhi Darbar will begin from Bengal. After all, this is not just about the numbers, but a prestige battle in one of the most politically charged states in India. And it is from this citadel of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee where the Prime Minister delivered a power punch to his political rivals. But first, let's keep the politics aside and look at some hard, undeniable data to explain why Bengal is just so important in the 2024 elections. In 2014 Lok Sabha elections in Bengal, Trinamool Congress won 34 seats with a vote share of 39.75%. The BJP won only 2 seats with a vote share of 17%. In contrast, in the 2019 polls, the Trinamool Congress's seats came down to 22 and a vote share of 43.6%, while the BJP managed to close the gap with 18 seats and almost a 40.6% vote share. The Congress ended up with only 2 seats and the left got a big zero, couldn't even open its account. The BJP may have lost the Vidhan Sabha polls, but they have sniffed a possible victory and an increase in vote share. And why specifically did the Prime Minister choose Aram Bagh to start his political campaign in Bengal? In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BJP lost this Aram Bagh seat to the Trinamool Congress by just 1,142 votes. The BJP clearly believes that this time around they can defeat the Trinamool Congress. Out of the 7 assembly segments in Aram Bagh, BJP won 4 in the 21 polls. BJP also did well in the Panchayat polls in this region. Coming back to the Prime Minister's guarantee to Bengal today, he wrote that Chot ka Badla vote se do. From betraying Sandeshkhali, Betis to shielding Shahjahan Sheikh, the Prime Minister came with a quiver full of arrows against what he called the apathetic Sarkar in Bengal, which has turned a blind eye to women just in favor of appeasement politics. He also slammed the India alliance for conveniently turning their back to this injustice to the women of Sandeshkhali. Listen in to the Prime Minister, who lashed out at the chalta rehta hai attitude.
जब संदेश खाली की बहनों ने अपनी आवाज बुलंद की, ममता दीदी से मदद मांगी, उन्हें बदले में क्या मिला? मुख्यमंत्री दीदी ने, बंगाल सरकार ने टीएमसी के नेता को बचाने के लिए जो भी कर सकते थे पूरी शक्ति लगा दी। आज बंगाल की जनता यहाँ के मुख्यमंत्री दीदी से पूछ रही है, क्या कुछ लोगों का वोट आपके लिए संदेशखाली की पीड़ित महिलाओं से भी ज्यादा अहम हो गया है? इंडी गठबंधन के बड़े बड़े नेता संदेशखाली पर आंख, कान, मुंह, गांधी जी को जो 3 बंदर थे ना, उन 3 बंदरों की तरह आंख, कान, नाक, मुंह सब ये बंद करके बैठे हैं। लेफ्ट और कांग्रेस ने यहां की सरकार से, यहां के मुख्यमंत्री से जवाब मांगने की हिम्मत की क्या?
You just heard Prime Minister target the opposition for turning a blind eye when women were under attack in Bengal. This remark came in the context of an interview I did of Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav on Times Now Bharat Nav Nirman Manch in Lucknow just 2 days ago. I asked him if he would come out and condemn the disparaging remarks his ally Rahul Gandhi had made on Aishwarya Rai on the rapes in Rajasthan in the UPA rule and about Sandeshkhali. This is how the UP ka ladka responded to me.
आप आज एक पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे हैं। मैं पूछ रही हूं, जब कभी मिलेंगे आप उस कमेंट्स के बाद मिल चुके हैं और बिल्कुल सार्वजनिक तरीके से मिल चुके हैं। आपने कुछ नहीं कहा, आपने ट्वीट नहीं कहा, आपने उनसे नहीं कहा,
मैंने सुना नहीं था। सच्चाई ये है कि वो मैंने स्टेटमेंट नहीं सुना था, क्योंकि बहुत सारे चैनल में देखता नहीं हूँ।
आपके अपने राज्य में क्या हो रहा है आप सुनते नहीं हैं। आपके अलायंस पार्टनर क्या कह रहे हैं आपको पता नहीं चलता। आपके विधायक क्या कर रहे हैं आपको पता नहीं चलता। वो डेजर्ट खा रहे हैं, चाट खा रहे हैं, आपको पता नहीं चलता। आप
क्यों
इतने
पता करना
कैसे हैं?
अच्छा, अगर कोई अच्छा काम कर रहा है और कुछ चीजें नहीं देखनी चाहिए। राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी जी कह चुके हैं कि कब आंख बंद करनी है, कब मुंह बंद करना है, कब कान बंद करने हैं।
तो आपने ऐश्वर्या राय पर आंख बंद करी है कि मुंह बंद किया है?
तो मैं अपनी आंख बंद कर लूंगा, कान बंद करूंगा, ना देखूंगा ना सुनूंगा। लेकिन समय आएगा तो मैं उन्हें कहूंगा कि इस तरह का किसी भी महिला के बारे में विचार नहीं होना चाहिए।
So turning a blind eye to injustice of women seems to be a common thread in the India alliance. But let's tell you why Sandeshkhali horror may be very, very costly for the Trinamool Congress. Remember, the main accused, Trinamool Congress strongman Shahjahan Sheikh, was absconding for 55 days and was finally arrested after a tongue lashing by the Calcutta High Court. There are, remember, 43 cases registered against him, and yet Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had called him a victim of the Enforcement Directorate on the floor of the Vidhan Sabha. Why? Let's turn this into a numbers fact check on the Newshour tonight. In 2014 Lok Sabha elections, 12% women voted for the BJP while 42% voted for the Trinamool Congress. Within the Muslim community, 2% voted for the BJP while 39% picked the Trinamool Congress. In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, 38% women voted for the BJP and 47% for the Trinamool Congress. Meanwhile, 4% Muslims voted for the BJP while 70% Muslims voted for the Trinamool Congress. Is the Prime Minister right that appeasement is the reason behind the betrayal of the Sandeshkhali Betis, where the minority vote bank has a strong presence? Today, listen in to the opposition say that the BJP preaches but doesn't practice women empowerment. Listen in.
बहुत दिन से बोल रहा है संदेशखाली में जो घटना घट रहे थे उसका मेजर पोर्शन एक ऑर्केस्ट्रेटेड स्टोरी है, जिनका डायरेक्टर और प्रोड्यूसर दिल्ली बीजेपी वाला था। बंगाल का आदमी, देश का आदमी ये भी देखा है कि अगर किसी के खिलाफ कोई कंप्लेन हुआ, वो शिबू हजरा हो, उत्तम सरदार हो, शेख शाहजहान हो, वो तृणमूल कांग्रेस का कार्यकर्ता होने का बावजूद भी पश्चिम बंगाल का सरकार उसको अरेस्ट कर सकता है।
একটা কথা প্রধানমন্ত্রী ঠিকই বলেছেন যে চোটের জবাব ভোটে হবে। একদম ঠিক। মণিপুরে যে মায়েদেরকে নগ্ন করে হাঁটিয়েছেন সেই মায়েরাও তাদের চোটের জবাব ভোটে নেবে। আমার যে বাংলার মায়েরা, ভারতবর্ষের মায়েরা 400 টাকার গ্যাস আজকে আপনার দয়ায় 1200 টাকায় কিনতে বাধ্য হচ্ছে, তারাও চোটের জবাবটা ভোটে নেবে। যে মায়েরা আজকে 20 টাকার কেরোসিন তেল 120 টাকায় কিনতে বাধ্য হচ্ছে, তারাও চোটের জবাব ভোটে নেবে।
पीएम नरेंद्र मोदी जी को ये बोलने का अधिकार क्या है? मणिपुर के बारे में क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं? अगर इस तरह से महिलाओं पे अत्याचार हो तो कांग्रेस समर्थन नहीं करेगी। लेकिन मणिपुर के बारे में प्रधानमंत्री जी क्यों नहीं बोल रहे हैं? मणिपुर की जनता आपको रोज पुकार रही है, प्रधानमंत्री जी हमको न्याय दो, लेकिन मणिपुर हमारे देश का हिस्सा ही नहीं है, ऐसे प्रधानमंत्री जी नरेंद्र मोदी समझ रहे हैं।
So the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight: whose Sandesh can win Satta in Bengal? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining me tonight, Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate in the Supreme Court, Gargi Nandi Roy, political analyst. Also joining me this evening is Kamru Choudhry, political analyst, supports the Congress party, Abbas Haider, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi party. But my first question goes to Tausif Ahmed, the political analyst, supports the Trinamool Congress. And Tausif Ahmed, my question to you is, 55 days it took for the Bengal government to arrest Shahjahan Sheikh. That too just after the High Court gave a nice warning and a tongue lashing to the Bengal government, which means Obviously, everybody knew for 55 days where Shahjahan Sheikh was hiding. Number one. Number two, Mamata Banerjee had already given him a clean chit. In fact, she said he is the victim, he is the one who is being targeted. And the women who were complaining are outsiders, they are covering their face and they are actors. I want to ask you now, arresting him where he's showing victory signs clearly is a complete hogwash. And on the other hand, just expelling him from the party for 6 years is trying to correct, because elections are around the corner, so perceptions need to be corrected at this moment. Tausif Ahmed Khan, for 10 years, these women have been suffering, and this time around they have made allegations of such rapes taking place inside the Trinamool Congress office in Sandeshkhali. I want to ask you, did nobody in the Trinamool Congress know about it, or did they just turn a blind eye? And is this why the Prime Minister has called you out this evening?
Navika, as soon as the complaints were lodged, people have been arrested, accused have been arrested, more than 17, 18 arrests have been made, including the other two, Hajda, Uttam Hajda and Sardar. So far, Sheikh Shahjahan is concerned. You are aware that there was a single bench order which was stayed by the division bench. ED went to the court. And in fact, it was ED who had the power to arrest Sheikh Shahjahan from the very first day, the 55 days that you are counting. Once the West Bengal police got a confirmation, a clarification from the Calcutta High Court stay on his arrest, the West Bengal police arrested him in a span of 2 days. Now, West Bengal has acted and have always acted. The West Bengal administration has been very serious, and the record shows, the NCRB data shows, that Calcutta is the safest city in the country so far as the crimes against women is concerned, and the UP is the worst. Sheikh Shahjahan and other against whom the other accused parties members have been suspended. But what action has BJP taken on Brij Bhushan Singh? What action did BJP take against other rape accused? BJP MLA Ram Dulal Gaur, who's a convicted rapist, a person who raped a 15-year minor girl. You can imagine how horrific, what a Dracula that person was. And what action did BJP take against him? He was convicted by court. The Brij Bhushan Singh, still he is a member of BJP. He is not arrested. What is stopping BJP from suspending him? From getting him arrested, from giving directions to the police?
All right, let me get in. You said Calcutta is the safest city for women. Well, what about Sandeshkhali? Would you want to answer that? Is Sandeshkhali safe for women? Number one. Number two, you are saying that it was the ED's failure that they could not arrest Sheikh Shahjahan, and it is within 2 days of the High Court's clarification that the Trinamool Congress government arrested him. Well, so if you could arrest him in 2 days, which means you knew and you didn't cooperate with the central agencies. But Shehzad Poonawalla, please respond to the charge.
देखिए, मैंने तौसीफ की सारी बातें सुनी, और आपका जो मूल सवाल था, योर लेजिटिमेट क्वेश्चन वाज व्हाट इज द संदेश दैट गोज आउट. संदेश बड़ा साफ है नाविका, कि तुम एक शाहजहां निकालोगे, हर कार्यालय से शाहजहां निकलेगा. ये शाहजहां को तो इन्होंने 56 दिन के बाद गिरफ्तार दिखा दिया, क्योंकि दबाव था. आपने कोर्ट का बताया, कुछ लोग आपकी तरह पत्रकारिता करते, राज्यसभा नहीं ले लेते, तो पत्रकारिता के दबाव में हुआ, और कुछ लोग जो है सड़क पर उतरे, भाजपा के नेता, तो दबाव में इन्होंने दिखा तो दिया ताकि सेंट्रल एजेंसी गिरफ्तार ना कर ले. पर सवाल ये बनता है कि विधानसभा से लेकर जनसभा तक ममता दीदी से लेकर अभिषेक बैनर्जी ने उनको डिफेंड किया. क्या ब्रिजभूषण को किसी ने डिफेंड किया? क्या राम गौंड को किसी ने डिफेंड किया? उल्टा, मैं आपको राम दुलार का 4 बार उन्होंने जिक्र किया हुआ है अलग डिबेट्स में. मैं आपको बता दूं, पे ये जो आरोप लगे थे ना राम विधायक पर, इस विधायक पर आरोप समाजवादी पार्टी के जमाने में लगे थे, फिर उसको टेम्पररी स्टे मिला, हमारे यहां आने के बावजूद भी केस चला और कन्विक्ट हुआ. तो सोचिए अंतर कितना है कि यहां पर कन्विक्ट हो जाता है चाहे कितना बड़ा नेता क्यों ना हो, और वहां पर छोटे से छोटा व्यक्ति, क्योंकि वो मानसिकता को प्रज्वलित करता है. कौन सी मानसिकता? वोट बैंक की मानसिकता. अच्छा, दूसरी बात देखिए, इससे संदेश क्या जा रहा है? ये विक्ट्री साइन। नाविका, आपकी क्यों इतिहास में जानकारी ठीक ठाक है, तो आपको याद होगा कि मुगलाई मानसिकता के आक्रांता जब आते थे और महिलाओं को, हिंदू महिलाओं को हरम में रखते थे तो वो विक्ट्री साइन दिखाते थे। ये वही शाहजहां मानसिकता है। और ये देखिए, वोट बैंक का पलड़ा इतना भारी है कि अनुसूचित जाति जनजाति के लिए बोलने वाली प्रियंका वाड्रा, हाथरस में तो यही बोला था ना, दलित महिलाओं के साथ हुआ। आज वो प्रियंका वाड्रा का एक ट्वीट नहीं आया। और प्रियंका वाड्रा का ट्वीट छोड़िए, इनके नेताओं के बयान सुनिए। खड़गे जी बोलते, जिसका प्रधानमंत्री ने आज जिक्र किया, वो बोलते ये तो छोटी मोटी घटनाएं होती रहती है। मतलब कि इसको कंडेम करने के बदले जस्टिफाई करना। और जहां तक कोलकाता सेफ होने की बात है, तो तौसीफ जी, आप तो बंगाल में रहते हैं। पोस्ट पोल वायलेंस, जिसका कवरेज टाइम्स नाउ नवभारत ने बड़ी प्रमुखता से इन्होंने किया, इनके चैनल ने और नाविका जी ने, इस पर कवरेज करने के लिए इनको तो जितनी प्रताड़ना हुई वो अलग विषय है, परंतु उस केस में भी महिलाओं के विषय में क्या बोला गया ममता दीदी के द्वारा? नाडिया रेप केस में 14 साल की बच्ची रेप हुई तो बोला लव अफेयर था। पाकरी स्ट्रीट रेप केस 2012 का, बोला कि शी हैड ब्रॉट इन ऑन हरसेल्फ। ये इस प्रकार की मानसिकता। और मुझे बताइए, जूही विश्वास की नेशनल स्पोक्सपर्सन बोलती है रेप का फुटेज दिखाओ। नाविका जी, इससे लोअर टिप्पणी नहीं हो सकती। रेप का फुटेज दिखाओ तब मैं बोलूं। नारायण गोस्वामी टीएमसी के नेता बोलते गोरी चमड़ी की महिला थी तो ये आदिवासी नहीं हो सकती। कुणाल घोष ने तो आज रिजाइन दे दिया। अब बताइए, कुणाल घोष से जो काम नहीं हो पा रहा है, तौसीफ जी अनऑफिशियल या ऑफिशियल जो भी है, ये शाहजहां को डिफेंड कर रहे हैं, परंतु कुणाल घोष बोल रहे हैं कि मैं तो नहीं कर सकता इसको। बताइए, शाहजहां प्रवृत्ति के खिलाफ प्रियंका भी चुप, ममता दीदी भी चुप।
Well, let me get in कमरू जमान चौधरी। कमरू जमान चौधरी, लड़की हूं, लड़ सकती हूं, but not one word on संदेशखाली। राहुल गांधी, भारत जोड़ो न्याय यात्रा, every day he goes against the Modi Sarkar saying, democracy is in danger, the constitution is being undermined. What about Sandeshkhali? Not one word, no time. No time for Sandeshkhali, Kamru Zaman Chaudhry. Not one word coming out on this. After all, this is all about nyay. This is all about justice. But because there is an alliance where Congress party is getting 0 seats from Mamata Banerjee, but not one word for the women. You talk about Manipur in every breath, but not one word about Rajasthan under the Gehlot government or Bengal and Sandeshkhali. Why, Kamru Zaman Chaudhry? Why this hypocrisy?
Navika, your stand and Shehzad, the spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party stand are on the same lines. And it is very
What is your stand, sir? Would you be against the women? Would you not have raised your voice because these women were being raped in a party office? What is your stand? Is your stand something different from mine?
No, I'm coming to that now.
No, I want to know. I want to know, do you only want to score brownie points with me, or will you have a voice to talk about how were women being raped in the Trinamool Congress office and nobody knew about it? Will you talk about that?
Navika, just tell me one thing. National Commission of Women, Rekha Sharma finds time to visit Bengal, but she does not have time to visit other states, doesn't file a case in other states. The point is not that. Whether Sandeshkhali or Manipur or Hathras or anywhere, a crime is being committed against a woman, we condemn it equally. But the point here is that you want to drive the point out here is that why has Priyanka Gandhi not spoken? Priyanka Gandhi went to Hathras because she was the General Secretary in charge of Uttar Pradesh. Who is the second and who is the most important leader in the Congress party right now? It is Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the leader of the largest opposition party.
So Mallikarjun Kharge is not the most powerful leader. Rahul Gandhi is not the most powerful leader. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is not the most powerful leader. It is Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary who is the most powerful leader. Now, therefore, only Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary will speak. Wow. How interesting is that?
Actually, आप इनका असली बोलने का तात्पर्य नहीं समझी। ये कह रहे हैं कि राजनीतिक गोत्र देखकर राज्य का प्रियंका जी जाती है, क्योंकि उस समय पर उत्तर प्रदेश की वो इंचार्ज थी, इलेक्शंस जीतना था तो वहां चली गई हाथरस की महिलाओं के लिए। परंतु यहां पर क्योंकि कोई चुनाव वैसे जीतना नहीं है, टीएमसी तो अपने साथ है। मैंने देखे कमरू जी, मैंने आपके बीच में नहीं बोला, कमरू जी आई नो शाहजहां का पेन आपके लिए ज्यादा है और आप शाहजहां प्रवृत्ति के समर्थक है। कमरू जी, मैंने आपको डिस्टर्ब नहीं नहीं किया। कमरू जी, मैंने आपको डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया। एक डिबेट की मर्यादा होती है। आपने महिलाओं की मर्यादा को तार-तार किया है, पर कम से कम डिबेट की मर्यादा मत करिए।
Chaudhry, I'll come to you. Just a minute. Just hold on. I'll come back to you for a counter. Right now, listen in to the point that you made is being rebutted. शहजाद,
ना कमरू नहीं है, मुमताज बन गए शाहजहां के। एनीवेज, मैं ये केवल कहना चाहता हूं कि खड़गे जी ने क्या बोला। खड़गे जी का रिकॉर्डेड बयान है, मैं दूसरे के चैनल का चलाना नहीं चाहता। उन्होंने बोला शाहजहां शेख पर, उसको जब संदेशखाली पर पूछा गया कि अधीर रंजन ने कहा है कि संदेशखाली मींस जंगल राज, ही सेड किसानों की चर्चा करनी चाहिए। देन से सर आंसर ऑन संदेशखाली, ही सेड ये होते रहता है। ये नंबर 1 लीडर आपके हिसाब से नंबर 1 तो खड़गे है ना, कि नंबर 1 कोई और है, कहीं और है?
अधीर रंजन चौधरी है। अधीर रंजन चौधरी, because Rahul Gandhi will not speak on it, Kharge ji will not speak on it, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will not speak on it, no tweet will come from anywhere, and Ishkaran Bhandari, I want to ask you, rapes of women happening in the Trinamool Congress office, nobody in the TMC knows about it? Or is it a free hand that was given to Shahjahan Sheikh? Number 2, 55 days the man is absconding. And what does Mamta Banerjee say on the floor of the Vidhan Sabha? She says, Shahjahan Sheikh is being targeted. Shahjahan is the target of the ED. And you know, she says the women who are complaining are outsiders. They've got their faces covered. They are actors. And then when the High Court gives a tongue lashing, within 2 days he's caught. I want to ask you, was the Trinamool Congress government in West Bengal not hand in glove in giving protection to Shahjahan Sheikh? Yes or no kind of answer. I don't want whataboutery.
Navika ji, the body language, even when he is in custody, screams that he is extremely comfortable, knows nothing will happen to him. I remember I was in court during Nirbhaya days, and one juvenile, because law at that time had 18 years age limit, and that juvenile knew I was safe. That is the sort of body language this guy has. Now, there is no law protecting him. Of course, this body language comes from knowing that the state, the government, the police is protecting me. The High Court had to observe that the sole cause is not being arrested. The High Court had to observe why the state police is not arresting. The High Court suo moto take up the case. And when they talk about as soon as the complaints are made, I was on Times Now debates where initially the TMC supporters or spokesmen or whatever they are were coming and saying that there is no complainant. There is no complainant. Before the police. Only after the complainant had to go to the magistrate, they acknowledge it. The first duty of police is to give confidence to a rape, to a sexual assault violence victim. That is the law of this land, reiterated infinite times by the Supreme Court. What happened? The senior leaders were saying no, it has happened, no complainant is there. Victim shaming, calling victims as actresses, some outsiders. All sort of propaganda was launched against victims only because of journalists like that keeping the news on that finally admitted rapes had happened and finally registered notifiers. And 55 days a man can run scot-free. But there was a High Court order. Every lawyer knew what a High Court order is. The High Court clarified the order that we had never given any stay. Will the High Court give stays on gang rapes? Will the High Court give stay on illegal land grabbing? So don't misquote the High Court orders. The High Court actually read the orders themselves. We have clarified that we never gave such a stay. So the situation is very clear. For one reason or the other, probably vote bank politics, to victim shame, to deny victims in sexual assault cases. Well, I worry with his body language in the police custody, I worry how much justice will he meet. I hope the case is transferred outside West Bengal.
Well, Kamru Choudhry, now tell me, what is the explanation that you have? How are you going to defend the Congress party and its silence?
I can't understand how the Congress party is silent. We have got a state PCC president out here who on the second day when the news break out about Sandeshkhali, led a team to Sandeshkhali, was stopped by the Bengal police. The supporters were arrested.
And national president doesn't think that Bengal is part of India, that he doesn't need to comment on it, even when asked directly?
Now, can you show me a comment by JP Nadda on Manipur? equally you must be asking the same question. Because we do not need any bhashan from the Bharatiya Janata Party who is harboring rapists in the parliament, who is having those, the whole India who made us proud, the
you did terrible. What about me? Let me answer this.
Janata Party's people, they are standing in support of the country.
Let me address
you
this.
talk
You
about Ramesh Biduri, not a word from the Lok Sabha Speaker, not a word from the JP Nadda or Prime Minister Modi ji.
You're being rebutted. You're being rebutted on facts. You're being rebutted on facts. Shehzad Poonawalla.
Kamru ji, you are absolutely wrong. On Manipur, even though this was between two communities, the Prime Minister, Home Minister and our party president, all of them said that this is unacceptable. In Parliament we said it. You tell me your national president is saying ये छोटी मोटी घटना है. Your biggest leader family, Priyanka Vadra is saying कि नहीं 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 अब तो कुछ बोलना नहीं, चुप रह जाना है, इसमें सेकुलर सन्नाटा मेंटेन करना है. और बता दीजिए कि ये कैसा है. एक है जो आतंकियों को बचाते हैं समाजवादी पार्टी, एक है जो शाहजहां को बचाते हैं, और तीसरे जो बोलते हैं पाकिस्तान को बचाना है, पाकिस्तान के साथ दुश्मनी नहीं करनी है, बीके हरिप्रसाद. तो ये देखिए ना, वोट बैंक के नाम पर शाहजहां, याकूब और पाकिस्तान बचाओ चल रहा है इनका.
Well, let me get in Abbas Haider. I'm coming to you, Gadgi ji. Abbas Haider. Now, I met you in Lucknow 2 days ago and I interviewed your party president. You know, on questions of women, on questions of Aishwarya Rai, on question on rapes, on Sandeshkhali, you know what his answer was? And it has been mentioned by the Prime Minister in his speech today. He said, Gandhi ji समझा गए हैं कब बोलना बंद करना है, कब सुनना बंद करना है, कब आंखें बंद करनी है. So you want to be Gandhiji's तीन बंदर and their actions कि ना सुन बुरा, ना बोल बुरा, ना देख बुरा, especially when it comes to the India Gathbandhan. Now, after, you know, anything that happens in a BJP ruled state or anything that the center has to be held responsible to, every day, every morning you will get up, you will tweet, you will give sound bites that democracy is in danger, the constitution has been shred to pieces. I want to ask you, is it democratic, is it within the constitution to rape women in a party office in Bengal? Is it all right for the accused to be absconding for 55 days? Is it all right for a chief minister to stand up and support the accused in this and call these women as outsiders and actors? I want to ask you, what makes the opposition totally silent about Sandeshkhali?
Navika ji, first of all, it is a very unfortunate incident, but the state police has worked according to the law. There has been some technical difficulty between the state police and the central agency. I don't want to get into the merit. But I think the Prime Minister was talking about himself जब वो कहते हैं कि हमें बुरा नहीं देखना है, because he is not looking at what has happened yesterday in Ghatampur, Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh, where two girls have committed suicide. Their body was found hanging on a tree. They were gang raped and their video was made. This is what has happened in Uttar Pradesh yesterday. And this is nothing unusual because such incidents are happening every other day. Was there a rape complaint from those girls before they have committed suicide? Every day, on an average, there are 8 rapes which occur in Uttar Pradesh. There are 10 murders which happens in Uttar Pradesh. Crime against women is maximum in Uttar Pradesh. Prime Minister does not talk about Chinmay Anand. Prime Minister does not talk about Kuldeep Sengar. He will never speak about BJP MLA who's got convicted for rape. Who got convicted for rape. This is what is the irony. This is what the hypocrisy of Bharatiya Janata Party and the Prime Minister. He will not say a word about farmers. He will not say a word about students who are in every district of Uttar Pradesh who are protesting against the government who wanted job, and they have gone nothing. I mean, for 60,000 posts, more than 50 lakh students have filled their form. This is the state of unemployment in the country. But the government does not want to speak about unemployment.
You have absolutely no answer for rapes happening in a political party's office.
But they will talk about everything.
No, you will not comment on rapes happening in the Trinamool Congress office.
That is something which is sub judice. And we have been talking about it since past 55 days, like you said.
Women have given testimonies. Women have given testimonies, my friend. It's not technical as you're saying. Technical issue. What is technical about this, Ishkar and Bhandari? What is technical about talking about the fact that these rapes were happening in the political party office in Sandeshkhali?
Yes. Navika ji, there is nothing technical. It is only a political protection going on. You don't need any technicalities to arrest a person being accused of gang rape by multiple women. You don't need any technicality for somebody who is grabbing the lines of tribals who have protection beyond other people who have protection for their land. There are special laws for that. So there is nothing technical except a political will. But you will not be surprised a Samajwadi Party member is saying that, because what was Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav's statement on rapes? Boys hang kar doge, galti hoti hai. So when you come from that school of thought, you will not be surprised from people defending gang rapists. You will not be surprised when somebody says and defends rapists as boys and galti ho jati hai and hang kar.
Of course we talk about every issue, Abbas Haider, but today we are talking about Sandeshkhali, and I find that you will talk about everything under the sun. You will talk about students, you will talk about farmers, you will talk about unemployment, you will talk about Uttar Pradesh, but you will not talk about Bengal. And Gargi Nandi Roy, that is my question. You heard all the participants on the debate. Gargi Nandi Roy, I want to ask you a question. Of course, there are issues in other states, there are issues with other governments. But today the topic of the debate is Sandeshkhali. Other issues on farmers, on students, suicides, we do on regular occasions. But why will they raise those issues when Sandeshkhali is being debated and discussed and answers are being sought? Is this distraction?
Yes. Yes, thank you, Navika, for inviting me. You know, it seems that his record is stuck and he'll continue doing whataboutery. Now, being from Bengal, let me state, you know, the police works as the cadre of the TMC regime. And yes, Shahjahan, we have seen his body language. The policemen seemed like his bodyguards. And Navika ji, you have to understand that there is not one Shahjahan in Bengal. There are several Shahjahan. These are the people who were given birth by CPM, the erstwhile regime, and now nurtured by TMC, because not only vote bank politics, because they ensure political or electoral victory for Mamata Banerjee. You must have heard the women saying that they used to go to the polling booth where only ink marks were put and they were sent back. So both loot of votes and loot of money. Money used to go up towards Kalighat and Kamak Street office of Bhaipo, and so everybody was mum, and people like Shahjahan were given a free run. So this is the state of Bengal, and I will tell you, Navika ji, in 2021 also similar things happened. I personally came across a girl, she had to flee a village. Till today she has not been able to go back to a village. Similarly, TMC men raped women in front of their husbands and children, that nobody could lodge a complaint in the police station. Even in Sandeshkhali, when women went to those police stations, the Nazak police station, the Sandeshkhali police station, the officials asked them to go to Shahjahan. Don't you think those police officials should also be punished, because they were hand in gloves and they were saluting Shahjahan because she was supporting the interest of the ruling party? As long as you ensure political victory, as long as you send money, and Shahjahan is land grabbing across West Bengal, the land grabs are happening. He is land grabbing here. The Banerjee family has 35 properties. Where from the 35 properties in Horish Chatterjee Street came? So because of this money,
huge charges. I don't know if you're substantiating those charges, but I'll give Tausif Khan a chance to respond and rebut.
Navika, the reason why BJP does not want to talk about Ramdulat Gaur or about Brij Bhushan Singh is because they are protecting them. There are several hundreds and thousands of Ram Dular Gaur in Uttar Pradesh. There are hundreds and thousands of Brij Bhushan Singh in BJP, and they are protecting them.
So,
they're
are you
not,
agreeing?
They're not.
So, are you agreeing there are hundreds of Shahjahans in Bengal? On Uttar Pradesh, I will invite you for a separate debate, but on Bengal, can you answer, are there hundreds of Shahjahans in Bengal? On Uttar Pradesh, I promise you will do another debate.
Answer is provided by the data. The data says, the crime against women data says, NCRB data shows where Bengal is and where Uttar Pradesh is. Yes, if there are incidents in Bengal, actions are taken. It is all in front of you. For the last 55 days, this topic was kept alive. ED did not arrest Shahjahan Sheikh purposely, but West Bengal police went on and arrested more than 17 and 18 arrests were made, including Shibu Haldar and Sardar was arrested. Only Shahjahan was not arrested because there was a stay order from Calcutta High Court, which was later clarified.
All right, stay order by the court, which the court itself says has been misinterpreted. Shehzad.
Madam, please. Madam, I just want to clarify a few facts. And Tausif, don't interrupt me. Tausif, madam, please. Tausif, you do know that when the Calcutta High Court took cognizance of this issue, there were 43 FIRs against Mr. Shahjahan Sheikh, and it said that forget this matter of the attack on the ED for which he's been finally arrested, even the other issues on which he was booked, he was absconding him then. Why did it not take 2 days to arrest him in matters your police filed much before the transpiring of the events of 5th January? First. Secondly, now fully सुनो, राम दुलार गौंड के विषय में क्या योगी जी ने खड़े होकर असेंबली में कहा नहीं नहीं इसको बचाना है, ये तो कल्प्रिट नहीं है? वो कन्विक्ट हुआ हमारा विधायक होने के बाद. शाहजहां शेख वाज डिफेंडेड फ्रॉम द असेंबली बाय ममता बनर्जी. तीसरी बात, अब्बास जी, मेरे मित्र अब्बास पर आपने एक जो टिप्पणी की, आज नाविका यूर प्रेरणा स्रोत फॉर मेनी वुमेन. संदेशखाली की महिला देख रही होगी तो वो क्या सोचती होगी कि अब्बास ने मेरी टेस्टिमनी दी हुई है कि मुझे रात को बुलाते थे, मेरे साथ ये सब करते थे और मैंने वो टेस्टिमनी दी है और ये कह रहे सब जुडिस है. क्या एक महिला की इज्जत और आबरू सब जुडिस है अब्बास जी आपके लिए? मतलब क्योंकि आपको वोट बैंक के नाम पर एक शाहजहां को डिफेंड करना है तो महिलाओं को झूठी बोल रहे हैं. उन महिलाओं को जिनकी टेस्टिमनी टाइम्स नाउ पर चली है, उन महिलाओं को जिनकी टाइम्स नाउ के बंगाल के रिपोर्टर ने माइक आईडी पर लेकर उनके बयानों को दिखाया है, वो महिला आज सब जुडिस है. ये तो वैसे ही द्रौपदी को जिस प्रकार से अपमानित किया गया था उसी प्रकार से द्रौपदी को अपमान कर रहे हैं.
नीतियों का उल्लंघन है, उनके आदेश का उल्लंघन है. आप क्या करना चाह रहे हैं? आप एक आपराधिक घटना को राजनीतिक मुद्दा बना रहे हैं. अपराध उत्तर प्रदेश में आपको नहीं दिख रहे हैं, अपराध मध्य प्रदेश में नहीं दिख रहे हैं, आपको राजस्थान में नहीं दिख रहे हैं, अपराध नहीं दिख रहे हैं आपको, वहां पे एनसीआरबी आंकड़े नहीं दिखते आपको.
It's not a political issue, Gargi Nandi Roy. It's not a political issue. It should not be made a political issue.
It is a political issue because these are the monsters who have been patronized by the TMC party. And even in 2021, we have seen reign of terror being unleashed by the political regime. And to Tausif, you talked about Shibu Hajra. When was he arrested? When the woman gave a statement to the magistrate under 164. Woman could not go to the police station. Why? Because the police would have never taken her complaint. Why did the police not take the complaints before? In 2019, BJP Karyakartas were killed, the Mandals, Pradeep Mandal and all. That was there. FIR. Why was he not arrested? So what are you talking, Tausif? Today also the people are getting threatened. Have you seen the viral video of a TMC leader? He's threatening that if you people go and campaign against TMC, the central forces will go, I'll chop off your hand. Navika ji, have you seen the viral video? So today also the women are feeling threatened. And let me tell you one.
Well, I haven't seen the viral video and I can't authenticate it from where it is and from when it is. But the fact of the matter is the dark underbelly is out there to see. Ishkaran Bhandari, my only question is a minimum expectation of the rule of law. Is that too much to ask for in Bengal?
Navika ji, we are beyond the minimum rule of law. We are into the constitutional breakdown of law and order, which is a constitutional subject, and you may need to take constitutional measures on the government to restore law and order there, because a crime should not be made a political issue. But when a politician does crime in the ruling party's office, and it's political patronage, where the High Court has to suo moto take up the matter, that definitely is a political issue, because that's not an ordinary crime by a common citizen. That is a political crime with political patronage.
Absolutely.
And political
the point is about the political patronage and the fact that a political office, a political party's office was used for crime against women, and the entire system was blind and deaf. And today, it's only pointing towards other states, other governments, other political parties. No answers for Bengal, no answers for Sandeshkhali. Well, the questions will keep haunting the Bengal Sarkar, because women will demand justice, and hopefully the courts will step in to make that possible. We leave it at that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me